Peace, and blessings. Hey, I definitely want to welcome you all back for another great episode. You already know my name, celebrity interviewer. I said it, and I'm here all the time, last Thursday of every month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, with my favorite host of all time. I hope that'll make anyone out there feel any type of way, but if it do, you just got to deal with it because I love my Mimi. Peace, Queen. How you doing, Mimi?
I am wonderful. Mimie Acosta here. How's everyone doing? I am good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
Oh, wonderful.
Welcome to the square table, though. For real, for real. Like everybody that's here, you already know what time it is. It's the square table. We come get back on your square only with me and Mimi
Yes.
every Thursday, last Thursday of the month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And kind of get for those that's like a first time audience here, can you tell them like what can they expect from the square table? What do we give people here?
We give people a lot of information. We give them love. We give them attention. We give them information because that's one thing. We have a lot of celebrities that come through and through this show right here, and they give us so many nuggets, and I'm really excited about that. So, to the hundreds and the thousands, I guess, that have been on the show and that have dropped nuggets, ain't nothing but information on here. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Stay tuned. We're going to have a great show today.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we did recently is every show, every month, we're gonna attack one of the awareness. So whatever the awareness is of that month, or whatever
Mhm.
that month represents, that's what we're gonna be mainly speaking about on the show topic. That's what we've been doing now for the last 2 months to be give you an update. But I'm grateful. So what is today's topic, Mimi?
Today's topic, we are going to be talking about breast cancer awareness.
Mm, very important. So very important.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know, because I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but when you talk about breast cancer is a disease in which the malignant cells from within the tissue of the breast. Okay. So it starts from there. We're going to talk more about it as the show goes on. So please stay with us and let's just get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, well, let's say let's then let's bring in our guests. So,
Okay.
first guest I want to bring in, we're gonna bring them in one by one, back to back. So the first guest I want to bring in today is Danielle Monique. So, welcome to the show, Danielle.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Peace.
Hello.
Good, peace,
Hello.
Queen. How are you
I'm
today?
well, thank you.
Absolutely, that's what's up. So let me go ahead and bring in our next guest. So I want to bring in my friend Brigette Wiley. Peace, Queen. How you doing? You muted right now.
Sorry about that. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, peace, peace. Welcome, welcome. Hey, I'm so definitely grateful to have both you women here, ladies here, queens here today. This is such a special moment today. Such a special month. Like
Mhm.
Mimi just remind everyone this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so, actually this weekend I had the opportunity to be a part of a her name is Barbara Bates. She's an icon around the world in the industry, but Barbara Bates Foundation, and because the name of the hospital that she represents is called the Barbara Bates Imaging Center, and she was raising money for breast cancer. And so it was such a big turnout. It was such a great event. I'm grateful. I got to share my little picture with Barbara because it's my first picture. So, y'all got to excuse me. It's my first time meeting Barbara. So this is my picture
Oh,
with Barbara. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I was just
awesome.
happy that she remembered me from social media. So that was up. Shout out to Barbara Bates and salute to all the women around the world who's just survivors and going through breast
mhm.
cancer and fight they fight. So I want to start with Mimi real quick. What does this topic mean to you today?
Well, it means everything because my mom is currently, experiencing breast cancer. She is a two-time survivor, and then some months back, we found out that it's back. So now she's just going through it, and she's taking her time with it this time because all the time is just so much anxiety and like I don't know the anxiety that comes with it. So I am about to learn, a lot from you ladies as well, um, because if when it happens to someone in the family, everybody is trying to get to everybody. Hey, go to the doctor. Hey, check yourself. Hey, this, hey, that. And that's the most important thing, is to catch things before they do happen, especially when we reach a certain age. A certain age group. So it means a lot to me. And there's quite a few, if not a lot, of women in my circles that are experiencing that more so than ever before. So whether this is something that's happening from the foods or whatever it is that's happening in the universe, it's happening more so now than ever before. And like I said, our age group, our age range.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And definitely my prayers to your mom, and may she, continue to fight that battle and
Thank
win
you.
every time.
Yeah, she a fighter. She's 75. You can't tell her that she's not 50.
Right. I heard that. Absolutely. Well, when it comes to today's topic, it's so meaningful for me too. I've lost endless people, unfortunately, to breast cancer. And then, with a smile on my face, I can say that I know so many survivors on the other hand.
Yes.
So it goes hand in hand, Sometimes, we lose some, and then, we have so many winners, and we have two winners, two survivors here today. I'm so grateful again that you're hearing both Danielle and Brigette. But I'm so happy to hear from you all soon. But I'm just grateful to be able to speak about this topic and just remind everyone that despite it's very, very rare, men can also attract and be diagnosed with breast cancer. And it says 1 in 3 men is rare account. If that's what they know, that'll say 1 in 3. What's that say? I'm sorry, my
okay. So I'm gonna take it from the top. Breast cancer in men is
Yeah.
rare, accounting for about 1% of all breast cancer diagnoses. Okay, so there is a lifetime risk, about 1 in 726 men. And the annual cases in the US is around 2,650. So that is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, anytime you're over 1,000, 2,000, that's still a lot of men.
Yes.
Despite we have 8 billion people in the world, but still, so just want to make that aware that, there are actually men who can relate to this. It's very, very few of them compared to women, but this is so, and that's why I was wearing pink and blue this weekend. It was pink for the women, blue for the men, what I'm saying? When it comes to the ribbon. So with that being said, thank you for reading that, Mimie. Brigette, if you don't mind, I want to ask you first, where are you from, what you represented, who you represented today in reference to the city. Talk about your business, your background, anything you want to say, and just kind of, briefly within like maybe 5 minutes, if you could just talk about, who you are and how people can support your brand.
Okay, well, I'm Brigette Wiley, and I'm currently in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm from Chicago. And I am a publisher of the Chicago Bridge magazine, and a publicist of Roy Ayers, and also a podcast producer and a DJ. My background is also a recording artist under the name Veil Silk, and I'm laughing because the DJ thing is new, and I kind of just stumbled up on that. And I'll be 55 tomorrow, so it'll be my birthday.
Hey, mine is Saturday, so yeah, let's go.
Happy birthday to you, Scorpio.
Happy birthday to you, yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, and I have a couple of DJ gigs this month. I have one on Sunday and I have one on Halloween, so I'm just having a ball. But I'm a breast cancer survivor since 2010, and I am cancer free.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
I love it. Thank God for that.
Yes.
And I just want to add two things to what she just said. She's the publisher of the famous Chicago Bridge magazine, and she's the publisher of the iconic Roy Ayers. You know what I'm saying? If anybody don't know who Roy Ayers is, y'all need to Google that man. It's like necessary. But thank you so much, Brigette, for your intro and everything. And actually, how can people support you? How can they book you if they want to book you as a DJ, perhaps?
Just Google the Chicago Bridge magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And
.com
I
or,
want
or
to just
or just Google it. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. And I know that you're very humble, you know what I mean, as you help remind me over the years to continue to be. But I want to celebrate you also and remind you to say congratulations, because this is your 30th year as a house music artist, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
I
This is
love
our
it.
30-year anniversary of our first record. Our first
Right.
record
Okay.
that we released on our own label. Me and my ex-husband co-owned a record label called Von Zoom Records, and I was the first artist to come out on that record label in 1994.
Wow, nice.
I love it.
I love it.
Congratulations. So
Yes.
congratulations your 30-year
Thank
anniversary of
you.
your first album.
Thank
Yep,
you.
definitely, definitely. You're welcome. So next I want to bring up Danielle. And please, Queen, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how people can support you and everything that you do, because you're so awesome as well.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be included in tonight's show. Like you said, my name is Danielle. I was born and raised in Chicago, but now transplanted to the south suburbs. But Chicago is, I'm still a Chicago girl. I got a shirt and everything that says Chicago girl. Uh, but I am an educator. I teach second grade currently. I have taught kindergarten as well as first grade also. This is my 11th year as a teacher. And I am also what I consider to be an amateur model, runway model. I do it because I love it. It's something that I'm able to just kind of once you're in full glam and you're in the clothes, it just kind of takes you to a whole nother space, at least for me. And I just enjoy it. I've been doing that for about 10 years now, off and on, in between teaching, obviously, outside of the school year. And the other thing is, I as well now, I'm newly a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed at the end of last year, and I'm sure we'll get more into that. But thankfully, I am cancer free. Thank God. God's
Okay.
so
Yeah.
um, just which is why I am very humbled to be included in this conversation. But I definitely feel like it's a very important conversation, and we need to have more conversations, even within our own families,
Yes.
where people are having these talks so that they know what to look for, know how science has changed over the years. It doesn't have to be um, it doesn't have to be a period in this sentence, so to speak, like
Right.
we probably have thought in the past. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like I said, I'm just humbled to be included in this conversation. So thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Absolutely. No,
Yes.
thank
Yes.
you. Shout out to Yolanda M, who just shares a chat with the claps. I appreciate it. Peace to you, Queen.
Yes.
Hey, Yolanda.
Yeah.
That's one of my
But
friends
no,
from
absolutely. Oh, that's what's up. Support always feel good when they jump, go ahead and pull up. Yeah, I'm so proud of you again, Danielle, Auntie Danielle,
Ah,
AKA, you know what I'm saying? I love you. I'm just happy for you, just keep going, and it's definitely a pleasure to have you here as well as part of this conversation today. It's very needed, like you say, this topic today. So if you all don't mind, I'll bounce back and forth a little bit. So I'll go ahead and bounce back to Brigette real quick and ask you now, when it comes to today's topic, what does today's topic mean to you? And I know that's such a deep question. It's kind of broad question, but when you hear breast cancer awareness conversation, what is what comes to mind?
I said that you kind of went out a little bit,
Oh, okay,
so
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear everything you just said.
No, I was just saying that. So today, I wanted to ask, kind of a broad question when it comes to what does today's topic mean to you when it comes to breast cancer awareness conversation? What is that? What comes to mind in your own words?
Oh wow. Well, it means everything to me.
Mhm.
I have several aunts on my mom and my dad's side that had breast cancer. Some
Mhm.
has survived, many has not survived. And so when you invited me to have this discussion, I had to say yes
Mhm.
because this is everything to me. Uh, I survived. I had surgery in the same hospital my mom did. My mom didn't survive from it. And before I had my surgery in that same hospital, it was, I think, a good 14 years um, before I got breast cancer. My sister and I didn't walk out of that hospital with my mom. She had passed from breast cancer. So then years later, here I am with breast cancer in the same hospital, and we all walk
Mm.
out with our kids, with
Mhm.
me, and it was victory. So this
Yes.
is everything to
Amen.
me. And I'm sure I
Yeah,
got these
no.
years mixed up. So, don't don't stick me to those years, but yeah.
No, absolutely. And just so happy again that you here, that you survived and you've been a big
Yes.
inspiration in my life. And just your fighting. When it came to your diet, what did you feel like you did different to help stay cancer free? Did you do anything in particular for those that don't know?
Well, when my auntie first got the breast cancer, and I was like 10 years old. She was the first one that died, the first aunt that died from breast cancer. And from what I hear, she didn't really make a whole lot of changes, and her cancer spread it really fast, and you know, she was out of here really fast. It didn't linger on. When my mother got the breast cancer, my mother lived probably about 4 years with the breast cancer, and she did a whole lot of diet change. So I did a lot of diet change with my mother.
Mhm.
I changed my diet to fish and vegetables,
Mhm.
and at this time I was like about 20 years old, and
Mm.
so I had been on a fish and vegetable diet from 20 years old to like, I think I was 44 when I got the breast cancer, something
Mhm.
like that. And I really couldn't understand how I got breast cancer because I wasn't a smoker, cigarette smoker. I was a social drinker, every now and then.
Mhm.
I consider my diet to be pretty good, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Right,
anyway,
exactly.
we could get into that later on what I think really happened. But anyway, of course, when I got the breast cancer, I was devastated, and again, I was confused on how I got it because I felt like my diet was good.
Mhm.
So what I did was I stopped eating for maybe a good 3 weeks. I didn't eat
Mm.
anything. I went on a fast. And I didn't purposely go on a fast. It was just I was confused on what to eat because I thought I
Mhm.
had the
Mm.
answers, the diet answers.
Mhm.
But anyway, when I did start back eating, I did change my diet even more. I started researching more on things to eat
Mhm.
that cures cancer. That's
Mhm.
important. And things I shouldn't eat that helps it grow.
Mhm.
That is so important to talk about because
Mhm.
there are foods that help it grow, right?
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
Yeah.
one thing I did, and I wrote a book about it. I ate a lot of broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
I ate broccoli.
Yeah.
I drank broccoli. I drank broccoli. I went
Right.
broccoli crazy
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there is something in broccoli that cures the stem cells of the cancer. And there's in my book, I have all these research uh, papers about it from different doctors all over the world. So
Nice.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think that helped out a lot.
That's
No,
good to
yeah,
know.
definitely. And thank
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
so much for sharing that because that's the reason I asked you that question because I wanted you to share that part of the broccoli because the broccoli was so important. I feel like in your progress in beating and keeping cancer away from you.
And let me make, I'm sorry,
Yep.
let me make a small correction. It's really the broccoli sprouts that,
Mm.
have more of what this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot pronounce this word. You have to look it up. It's a very long word, and I can't pronounce
No worries. Hey, we keep it 100 over
it. Yeah.
here.
All right.
Thank you for sharing that, Brigette. Now I want to ask
Yeah.
Danielle, the same question, please, Queen. I want to ask you, when it comes to today's topic, breast cancer awareness conversation, what comes to mind with yourself?
Um, well, I'm a little bit, I guess I'm on the other end of the spectrum by it still being so new and me having just finished treatment so much more recently. So it's still an adjustment. I have had several friends, and I've had at least two family members that I know of that were affected and are survivors of breast cancer. But it wasn't very close. Like these were cousins. These both of them actually are first cousins of mine. Um,
Mm,
so it wasn't something that was running rampant in my family. But like I said, I do have family friends and friends that have been affected by breast cancer. And so I was on the other side of it, being that supporter and, things like that. So when it came down my row, um, it definitely caught me off guard. I mean, but I feel like I'm sure that's with anyone because no one expects to wake up and have breast cancer, I'm sure. But um, it definitely was a shock. It was a journey and it still is, a lot of people, and this is what I have found myself telling a lot of people that you think that once the chemo stops or once you have surgery, that it's just over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not necessarily the case, whether it's because you're still feeling the effects of it. I mean, and I would be remiss if I was to say that I don't think about like how long will I still feel the effects of it. I mean, and I'm sure only time will tell. So like I said, my insight to it is still very, very new. And I'm just glad to still be here to um I guess how do I say it? Like I said, it's a journey. So I'm glad to still be here to be able to fight on this journey. And like I said, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't stop just because I'm done with my last treatment. So
yeah, and you hearing it help bring awareness to it, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
right.
From someone that has been through it and is going to
Mm-hmm.
continue, fight and survive and be here for a long time. So, you know, what you're saying is very meaningful and inspirational. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yep. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Danielle. And
No problem.
real quick, yeah, if you don't mind, Mimi, I want to bring up some statistics when it comes to breast cancer. And if you don't mind, if you could read that for us, please.
Not a problem. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Thank you. Well, first, let me add this last comment. And thank you so much to Queen Deborah Cosby for your chat, and Queen Deborah Rogers for your chat. Appreciate it. And Deborah just also said, understandably, sister, you're a survivor. Yes, absolutely, she is. Amen. All right, so
Yes.
let me bring up
Thank
these
you.
statistics real quick. And it's all yours, Mimi.
Yes, let's go. So in California, California has the highest number of breast cancer deaths. The most common type of breast cancer is invasive ductal carcinoma. Breast cancer by state, comparing mortality rates across the US. The state of Hawaii has the highest breast cancer rate in the country at 145.8. Wow.
Well,
That's pretty
amazing. And
interesting.
Wow.
I would have never
I
known.
guess yeah, so it has to do with the climate, perhaps, maybe I'm guessing, in Hawaii. There's something with
Yes.
Hawaii.
Something. So, breast cancer is the most common cancer diagnosed amongst women in the US. Each year, about 30% of all newly diagnosed cancers in women are breast cancer. In 2024, approximately 310,720 women will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer, 60% of which will be in women younger than 50 years old. Whoa, 50 years of age. Wow.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
Wow.
October 14, 2024. So that's recent statistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just last week.
hmm So how
And
common is breast cancer? So about 310,720 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in women. About 56,500 new cases of ductal carcinoma in situ will be diagnosed. Am I saying that word right? Situ? Situ? Oh, well.
I believe it's like in situ or something, but
In situ.
none of us are doctors, so it's okay.
Yes, right. Okay. About 42,250 women will die from breast cancer. And the devil is a liar in Jesus' name. We can reverse that.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes. Don't tell me who it will happen to. What's going to happen is that it's not going to happen.
That way.
Right.
Yes, that's my little side note.
Yeah. Thank you for reading that Mimi.
You're
for us.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yep, and let me share these two comments before we jump back into this conversation. Yolanda says, Danielle and Brigette, thank you for sharing. Yes, absolutely. And Deborah Cosby says, Amen.
Yes. Yes. Amen. Amen. And amen. On top of all the amens, okay?
Right.
We are not trying to bring. We're not for it. I'm not for it. I know that my sisters on here are not for it. Deborah is not for it. Yolanda not for it. We're not for it.
Right.
Not going.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I have to give it to everyone who is out here fighting this battle. And it's a scary one. You know, it's a scary one. I mean, I've been told every year. I mean, my mom was diagnosed in 2000. Then we were back at it again 20 years later. And then it's like we're back at it again now. I mean, during COVID, my mom was actually in Puerto Rico going through chemotherapy by herself because what happened, and you know, she had people there, yes, but with me being here in Georgia, I wouldn't take the shot because I was so against it. So then at the hospital in Puerto Rico, they would not have allowed me to be there with her because if I didn't have the shot, I was not going to be in the building. And then where she was staying, I couldn't be. So I was the number one doctor stalker because yes, I was calling and checking on her. And I wanted them to, I had some of their phone numbers and I was able to live so I could see her and make sure she's good and make sure she sees me, because support is like one of the biggest things when it comes to this. I mean, you have a lot of people that come with the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and oh, I should have been. No, you got to, I don't care if it's a phone call, I don't care what it is. Everybody needs to know that they're being cared for by somebody. Deborah Crosby, she said, my mom died from colon cancer 5 years ago. I've been blessed and protected to have any diagnosis of cancer. All praises to the Most High. Yes, ma'am. Amen. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You know, it's this thing is not a joke. And like I'm saying, it's like there's not one family that I know that this deadly disease have not touched. You know, and it takes a lot of prayer, it takes changing of diet, it takes a whole lot of things, because when I see my mom going through what she's going through, then it's time for me to attack the things that what is it? And we read a lot. It's so much information that we get. You know, it's like, you know what? I just need to minimize doing a whole lot of grease eating or all the crazy things that feed into this thing, you know, whatever this thing is, you know. And it's just so interesting, you know, like Brigette said, it's like, you know, it's like, or it was somebody else that said it, because it did happen to her mom and her auntie. But there's people who don't have cancer that run in their family at all, and then all of a sudden, boop, they've got it, and it's like, whoa, where did this come from? You know, and it's not hereditary. This thing just comes about. It has to be something that we're eating or something that we're not doing that we should be doing. You know, so going to the doctor and getting your physicals, because some people don't. Let me raise my hand. I don't like going to doctors. I don't care what it is. I don't like going and looking. I will turn to Dr. Sabi's website in 2 seconds, or my guy to Johnny here at Healing in the Garden in Atlanta. I would turn to them in 2 seconds and be like, okay, to Johnny, tell me what I need to take, because I know you got the stuff. Let's go. You know, and sure enough, you know, lymphatic cleanses, cell cleanses, all these good old things, and changing your diet. You know, stop with the Coke. And if people love drinking their Coca-Colas, I get it. You know, I was one of those that couldn't go through one day without drinking 4 Cokes a day. Didn't realize this thing was killing me. You know, so I went through my scare in 2022. And my thing was just fibroids. But when it comes to the blood, you know what I'm saying, iron levels, and it's all these different things that could happen at the same time. You know, and then you go for a mammogram, and here goes this little tissue. So yeah, you know, it starts out with something that you're thinking, oh, that's really nothing. And then before you know it, how did I get cancer? Where did it come from? Because you have not been on it. You know, now it's something that's like, okay, I know that I have to be on myself because. So yes, awareness. That's what this show is all about on today. And once again, to you ladies, man, you guys are just really, really strong. And I thank you so much for being here and sharing your awareness and your experiences.
Yeah, and I wanted.
What you want to say? I said it. Let's go.
This fashion show.
This ain't the time to go ghost. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, all right. All of a sudden, it all started roaming at
No,
the same
it's all
time.
good.
But no, we're still here though, you know. But I was gonna say, you know, this weekend when I was at the fashion show, they had everybody pause and pick up their phones and contact 5 people they asked, and just remind women to go and check and get a mammogram. You know what I mean? And I was told, and I learned actually. I mean, obviously, you all know this better than me because I'm not a woman, but to the audience and those listening, it's said that you're supposed to get a mammogram every 5 years, but you can go as soon or as frequently as you want because, you know what I mean, that's just the opportunity that you have to go and continue to get checked. And I just want to remind all the women and men out there to go and continue to just get checked as often as possible, you know what I mean, especially if it runs in your family, because that's so important. But with that being said, let me pass the mic to Brigette, because she has so much experience on this topic by being over a 10-year survivor now. And so when we read these statistics, Brigette, what kind of jumped out at you, and what would you like to add to this conversation, please?
You are muted.
I'm sorry about that.
You're good.
I want to say first that Mimie, I wanted to piggyback on what Mimie said. She didn't like to really go to the doctor. Am I pronouncing your
Mimie? Yes,
right?
You got it.
And so I just want to say that that's okay. You know, don't feel bad about if there's anybody out there that don't like to go to the doctor. That's okay. I believe. I feel like, you know, if you pay more attention to your body, okay, more than anything, and your diet, that you'll be okay. You know, sometimes I'm not going to say that I've been very proactive in going to the doctor, you know, before breast cancer or even after breast cancer. And I learned that that's okay. because I feel like any disease or any tragic thing that happens in your life is spiritual. Okay.
Yes.
So I feel like, that's a time for you to really get into yourself and God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say yourself, I'm talking about mind, body, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you need to listen to your body. You need to make changes. You need to make changes in the way you think. That's your mind. You need to make changes in your physical with your body. And of course, you need to talk to God. You need to follow your spirit. You
Yes.
know, and sometimes going to the doctor for every little thing, you can get a lot of misdiagnosis. Okay, and then you're being misdiagnosed, and then you're harping on something uh, that the doctor told you, right? And you can
Mm-hmm.
make yourself sick. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm not really into running to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, as far as mammograms, um, I like I said it that you said, they started letting people know at the breast cancer awareness you went to with Barbara Bates, that you need to go get the mammograms, anytime you feel like it. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that's what I mean, you need to start paying attention to your body,
Mm-hmm.
period. If you see or feel any changes in your breast or in your body whole, then that's when you start acting on going to get you a mammogram. And even mammograms don't pick up breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It never picked up mine. Never. And I went religiously to the doctor for mammograms every other year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And even when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it didn't pick it up then. I remember, crazy story, because how I found my breast cancer was I just had a doctor that said, it's so, let me back up a little bit. When you go to the doctor and they ask you your family history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is so needed because
Yes.
that helps them determine what tests they should be giving you. But I
Mm-hmm.
never saw it that way ever, right? So I just
Mm-hmm.
happened to have a new doctor that asked me my family history, and I told her. And then I told her how, I told her how my mother had breast cancer, how my aunts had breast cancer. And then I told her that I felt funny in my left breast. There was a mass that kept getting bigger and smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't think it was breast cancer because I had already had mammograms through the years and they never said anything about it. But
Mm-hmm.
this one doctor, when I told her that, she was like, you know what? Let's get you an ultrasound. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how my cancer was found. And so I remember when I got diagnosed with that, it came back that it was breast cancer. About a week later, I got a letter saying my mammogram was clear. I don't have cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. That I had to call my doctor and say, wait a minute, I just got the result from the mammogram. But it was already, it was already diagnosed that I did have breast cancer. But I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying that's how the mammogram sometimes don't pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Danielle, what would you like to add to that? And did you know some of the things that Brigette was already referring to?
As far as
Yeah,
the
anything that she had.
diagnosis.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So for me,
yeah.
I
What was your
had,
experience?
I'm sorry.
No, I was just what you was already doing. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was just asking, what was your experience?
Okay, so for me, I had just turned 40. And growing up, you always hear by the time you turn 40, that's when you are supposed to start getting your mammogram if you haven't already. So I had turned 40 in August. And I knew that I needed to make an appointment, and I just hadn't, not because I was avoiding it, but it's the start of the school year, all the things, listed, whatever, right? Around September or October, that's when I felt something in my breast that I felt didn't seem normal. I'm comparing it to the other side, and I'm like, and so I've had surgery, but at the time I was heavy chested. So I'm like, it may just be breast tissue, but for a couple of days, I kept going right back to that same spot, and it felt like a marble. And I'm like, all my years of living, if I've never seemed to feel a marble, I don't care how big my breast is, right? And so I called my doctor, and they scheduled me. When by me saying that I felt something, they did an exam. Just feeling a breast exam by feeling it. They could feel what I felt as well. So they scheduled me for what they call a diagnostic mammogram. And from my understanding, the diagnostic mammogram is when they will schedule you for the mammogram, but also schedule for ultrasound as well. In addition to that, the radiologist reads it while you're there. So it wasn't a situation of you to have a mammogram and then wait a week for your results. No, they did the mammogram, go sit in the chair. The radiologist reads it. If they, I can't remember if they see something or if they do the ultrasound regardless. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I did do the ultrasound. They saw a spot on the mammogram, and then they brought me in for the ultrasound. And then after the ultrasound, I was brought into a room with the radiologist and the tech that had done the test. And so he went through several different explanations and scenarios. And unfortunately, he said that I fell within this third group of if they see something and it is suspicious. So we're going to have you go for a biopsy. And they had the image on the screen. So I could clearly see the white spot that was right there. And white means just that there's, you can see that there's something other than just regular tissue, which should be like dark with like white lines or something like that. And so then after the biopsy, a few days later, unfortunately, on December 4th, 2023, I received a phone call telling me that it was breast cancer. And that's where my journey began,
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, and that's
And if I can,
hard to feel.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
please.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, please.
When you all were talking about the statistics, and I probably, should have looked up specific statistics, but I know that unfortunately, Black women and women of color are amongst the women who have the highest death rates of breast cancer. Like I said, I don't have the specific numbers, but if you Google, it will come up right away, unfortunately. And even just in the people that I'm around, just once I told people about my diagnosis, the amount of women who were like, you know what, I was diagnosed with this, or I was, this is the experience that I've had as well. And so it's shocking the number of people who are affected by this, and the type of breast cancer that I had, that it was very aggressive. It was called triple negative breast cancer, which is, if I'm not mistaken, there's a very high number of statistics that show that a lot of women of color are affected by triple negative. That's not to say that they're not affected by others, of course, but I do believe that there is a high incidence of that as well amongst women of color. And it's just, it makes you think like what is going on other than just eating. Of course there's so many other things that went across my mind as well. But it makes you wonder like what is causing this high incidence of women of color who are being affected by this disease.
And I was going to add, thank you so much, Danielle. I know it's so
Yes.
difficult for any woman, anybody who's a survivor to speak about this, especially yourself who's still very new with your journey when it comes to this. So I just want to say I'm proud of both you and Brigette, even speaking about this. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing your stories. I know this is delicate to both of you all, to every woman who's a survivor. Your story is your story. I do have one question. I want to get back to you, Mimie, so you can continue to add to this conversation. I appreciate it. But to both Brigette and Danielle, to your knowledge, and thank you also, Danielle, for adding the, in reference to Black women are more prone to, get cancer, unfortunately, than white women in any other culture. But I'm just curious, and I don't know. I might sound real ignorant right now. I don't know, but forgive me, to the body. But are women that are more top heavy more prone to get cancer, breast cancer, than women who are less top heavy? I don't know. Do you all know anything about that? Anybody can answer that question?
I don't think specifically that you're more prone to it. I do know that a lot of women run into issues, and I'm sure a lot of women have been told that they may have what they call dense breasts. And a lot of times cancer has been said to like hide within the breast tissue because of the density of your breast. And so it's a lot of factors, but I don't necessarily think that it can be just because you may be smaller chested that you are not susceptible to it. I don't believe that to be the case. Of course, I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not saying that I'm a doctor, but I don't think that is necessarily a prerequisite, so to speak. But I know that density and other factors can make it more difficult as far as it showing up, which is why I think with the changes in technology, they try to go a little bit further because like Brigette is experiencing, sometimes it doesn't show up, or it may be, they may not notice it until after tissues are removed or, something like that they may not detect it. So I'm not sure if anyone else wants to, speak to that, but
Yeah,
that's just
Brigette, do you know
my
anything about
experience.
that? Thank you, Danielle. Brigette, do you know any knowledge or information about that on what in reference to my question?
Yeah, I'm like Danielle. I don't think it makes a difference. I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mimi?
No. I don't know at all. I don't know
Is
at
it
all.
yes or me?
I've never heard anything like that. So okay. So I'm gonna say this because I Googled something really, really quick.
Yeah, please.
So as a result, the CDC says that women with dense breasts are more prone to getting breast cancer. In addition to dense breast tissue, other risk factors for breast cancer include obesity, a family history, alcohol consumption, and older age.
Mm,
That's what the CDC
okay.
says, but the CDC says a lot of things, and yeah,
I know, right?
I'm just saying, some things are questionable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've
No,
never,
thanks
I've
for
never heard that. So yeah, I just Googled it right quick, and that's what came up. So yeah, I'm not running with it.
yeah.
I'm just repeating what I'm my little research here.
Right. And let me explain my ignorance in reference to why I asked that question. And this is just my thinking as a man. because men are so rare to get it, I was thinking that maybe because men have flat chests, women have breasts, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. That's just where my mind went when thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking that maybe, that had something to do with that. But thank you for looking that up, Mimi.
Yeah, you're welcome. And
And
you know what? It's really interesting. I know that we're gonna do another show again when it comes to breast cancer, because even on months when we don't have the awareness of, we definitely find breast cancer to be the awareness that we talk about. So I know that we're gonna talk about this again, and I'm gonna make a phone call and see what's up, because I'm big on that. like, wait, I read about this. Is this really true? Like, I really need to know, because we have a show where we're bringing awareness, and I want to make sure that I'm saying the right things here.
Right.
no,
And when
absolutely.
you talk about dense breast tissues, it's the understanding that it's talking about the glandular tissues that are in your breast,
Yes.
and that it is more fibrous and that's why it can sometimes make it more difficult to detect it, because, like I said,
Right.
it's harder to see. It can make it harder to see on a mammogram. But some places may use 3D or 4D mammograms and different things like that. So where the technology hopefully is making that better to detect it, because of course, and it's not just a cliche, but early detection is,
Yes.
it makes a big difference. Like mine was, even though it is said to be a very aggressive cancer, it was stage 1. It was fairly small. It hadn't spread, because all of those things add to, um, the course of that journey for you as well. If it's outside of the breast, if it involves the lymph nodes and all of these other things. So, and then just the medicines that you go through, is they've come a long way as well. They do a lot of pre-medications to try to prevent. Don't get me wrong, you still deal with a lot of sickness,
Right.
unfortunately. But
Right.
a lot of the pre-medications that they try to put you on is to try to combat it beforehand, so that it's not um, as difficult, as say women who may have dealt with it 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, because I have friends who were diagnosed 15 years ago, and just the changes, even with genetic testing, that's something else that in the last 10, 15 years has changed as well.
Right, absolutely. And let me thank you for sharing that, Danielle. That's
Yes.
very important, everything that you said as well. Also, I want to share this chat by Deborah Cosby. I'm sorry with the delay. She said, appreciate you sharing. This is when Brigette was talking. I prefer holistic approach myself, but I go and get checked regularly.
Yes.
Um, so, Brigette, with you being again, over a 10-year survivor, I'm so happy that I can say that since I've known you since 2003. Um, you know, when it comes to just sharing a little bit more information about not only maybe your experience or anything else you would like to continue to add to this conversation that you wanted to get back to, the floor is yours. Go for it, please.
Uh,
You're muted, sweetheart. There we
can
go.
you repeat? Can you repeat that? Thank you.
Yeah, no, I was sorry. I was just saying because you were such a survivor for now over 10 years. I'm grateful to say. I know you have so much information, experiences, doing as you continue to progress to continue to be a survivor. Maybe trying different things from exercise to diet. Maybe things that you might have felt like you discovered. Anything else you would like to share to the conversation, or even things that you like to share about your experience?
Well, again, I did a lot of research on different foods that feed cancer, and I would say that we need to erase sugar, processed sugar, out of our diets as much as we can.
Mhm.
I feel like that's a big cause of cancer and a lot of other
Mhm.
diseases. Um, and when I say erase it out your diet, you know, that's really impossible because sugar is in everything. But
Right.
we need to monitor our intake
Mhm.
of sugar. Because if
Yes.
you're thinking if you're thinking you had some pop or uh, some Kool-Aid or something like that, and then you turn around and you have some fries, you know what I'm saying? All that sugar. Then you turn around and
Yes.
have
Right.
some wine, that's sugar too. Or
Yes.
beer, that's sugar too. So it's just about moderation, I believe.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
just kind of just don't overdo these things. And I can say, even though my diet, and that's another thing, even though my diet was fish and vegetables, I never monitored my ice cream or my
Mhm.
cookies.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
Right.
always been I've never been overweight, so
Mhm.
junk food, I'll have that all the time if I want it. I never paid attention to it. You
Mhm.
know, what else? Exercise is very important. That's
Mhm.
another thing. In the past, I associated exercise with needing to lose weight. Well, I didn't need to lose weight, so I didn't exercise like that.
Mhm.
But exercise is good for other things. It's not just about weight. So these are
Yes.
all the
Right.
things I've learned when I got the breast cancer.
Mhm.
Sadly
Mm.
to say, all that time I didn't learn until then. I didn't, I was very ignorant towards a lot of things. And breast cancer, which I call, you might think I'm crazy, but I call it my greatest opportunity ever.
Mhm.
And the reason why I call it that is because it made me look at myself.
Yes.
You know, it made me grow within. It made me grow with my relationships with my ex-husband, my dad, my
Mhm.
kids, my sisters. I did a lot. I took it that way. I took it to grow. You
Mhm.
know, and that's why I say I feel like it's a spiritual thing too. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I mean, we can talk all day about what caused it, what may have caused it, the environment, all that kind of stuff. But the
Mhm.
real deal is the spirit. you
Yes.
know,
Right.
the
Yes.
real deal is it's a calling to your spirit.
Mhm.
Anything devastating happening to us is a calling to your spirit. It's a wake up call to make some changes, some real changes.
Yes.
Okay, because we can all that stuff talking about this cause it and that cause it. That's placing blame.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's God, right? There's our
Mhm.
Creator
Mm.
that allows all these things to happen to us. So
Mhm.
why? Why is our Creator allowing this to happen?
Mhm.
Because ain't nothing happening unless He allows it.
That's
He or
right.
she allows it. So that's the conversation that I would like. And I'm not talking religion, because talking about God
Mhm.
is not talking religion. I don't want to
Mhm.
talk religion.
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
conversation that I really would like to see these organizations have, and again, they don't have to have religion in it, just
Mhm.
talk about spirit. Let's talk
Mhm.
about the spiritual meaning of these things,
Right.
because
That's
that's the real deal. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? Because we all know that this world has a lot of bad things in all the foods.
Mm.
Even the organic foods sometimes not really organic. You know what I say?
Mm.
They say broccoli is fake. You know what I'm saying? But here I am. I'm talking about there's something in broccoli that helps.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
But it's all about your belief. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what I
Right.
believe. But then here's somebody over here say broccoli's fake, and they can tell me how and all these, different reasons, and show me some documents too. But again, I believe broccoli helps. It's just like ginger ale. Ginger ale helps you with your gas. It helps me with my gas. But but here I can go over here and drink some pure ginger that's supposed to help with your gas, but that don't help me like the ginger ale with all this sugar in it.
Right,
you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Which
that makes sense.
it probably helps me. It probably helps me because my long-term belief in it helping me, right? That's the
I'm
spirit
glad you said that.
That's the spiritual side I'm talking about. What we think shall be.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that the way you said it. Excuse me, Brigette, for cutting you off. Because like you say, it's what you believe. If you believe broccoli helps you, then broccoli helps you. If you believe staying in the sun all day, getting more vitamin D will help kill the cancer quicker, or whatever it is, we believe is what it is. What it will be shall be, and whatever we believe is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that's an argument or a debate that anybody, like you say, can continue to have over what helps and what doesn't. So even when I said earlier about women remind them to go get mammograms and things of that nature, and you reminded us that you don't have to continue to run to the doctor to just find the source yourself, and like Danielle added and things of that nature with everything that she said. So, we don't have all the answers. Only God is the expert at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We just like doctors, we just in practice. You know what I'm saying? We just it's trial and error with this life that we have. We all trying to just figure it out.
Right. Can I say
Yeah,
something?
please.
I'm sorry, I
Please.
didn't mean to cut you off. But I just want
No,
to say,
please.
like, when I was going through my chemo, right, and I was in so much pain, I there was no pain medicine helping me. So it came to a point where I had to control my own pain. I made it go away. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, we're talking about spiritual here. Okay? It's about exercising the gifts that God has given us. And we can truly heal ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to the doctor. So don't take it like that. I'm basically saying whatever you believe is okay. Overall. But monitor your belief. Believe in things that benefit you. Don't believe in things that ain't no benefit to you. If you believe the doctor can cure you or certain things can cure you, then believe it wholeheartedly. But don't believe in things that's not gonna give you peace of mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Now,
at the end of the day.
I want to say, like, right after my breast cancer experience, when all the chemo and everything was over with, and they said I was cancer free, I started having panic attacks. High anxiety. Every little pain that I got in my foot, a headache, I thought it was cancer. And I kept running back and forth to the emergency room. But I had to get a hold of myself, right? I had to make that change. Couldn't nobody help me. But I'm going to tell you what made me make the change. Is when I went to the doctor and they tried to put me on some psych medicine.
Oh, gosh. The devil is a liar.
Wait a minute. Because I have a mentally challenged sister that been in my life all my life that we take care of. And this medication they was trying to put me on, I was aware of it because it's what she used to take.
Right.
And that right there, I took, huh?
They try to sneak it to you. They try to
Well,
sneak it to you.
they told me I needed it. I think it was Xanax or something like that. But
Mhm.
they told me I needed it. And I let them, do the prescription and stuff, write it up. I even went to go get it, But I looked at that bottle and I said, I'm not taking this.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's when I snapped out of it. From that day
Mhm.
forward, I promise you, I stopped running back and forth to the doctor. I said, this is
Mhm.
bull crap.
Right.
Right.
Let me tell you a funny story real quick. I was so paranoid that I fell asleep on my arm on the couch. And I called my brother up. And when I woke up, I couldn't move my arm. It was sleep. It was dead.
Mhm.
And
Right. Right.
here I am panicking, thinking it's cancer. I called I called my brother. I said, I can't move my arm. I'm about to go to the hospital. I called the ambulance. They came. They checked me. By the time they came, I can move my arm.
Mhm.
Right. They woke up.
Yeah, it was time for you to stop.
It
That's what
was
it
time for
was.
me to
It's like,
stop.
hold on.
It was time for me to
You
stop.
grab a hold of yourself, which is a good thing.
Yeah. But see, that's why I call it my greatest opportunity ever, because it made me realize that a lot of things I was making up, and I was making myself sick.
Mhm.
It made me control myself more
Mm.
with everything. Now you can use that for everything.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I use that experience for everything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. No, thank you for all of that, Brigette. That was needed. That was very much needed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Danielle, when it comes to that, and that's if you choose to speak on it, and I'm sorry, I know that you have an appointment to get to, so we're gonna end this show pretty soon too. Um, but with that being said, do you feel that way, in reference to like when you feel different pains, you feel like maybe that's something that you have to go through again in reference to the cancer? Do you feel that way and like having a panic and feeling like, that it might be associated with what you already been through?
I'm not gonna say that I believe that it is because of what I've gone. Well, I think my thinking is more, especially while I was going through treatment or right immediately after, it was like, is this an effective chemo? Is this an effective chemo? Like, and so there were a lot because your body goes through so many different changes while you're doing chemo. And it's like the chemo is there to try to kill this cancerous tumor. However, it's not able to just pick out just that. It
Mhm.
breaks down so many of your body systems, unfortunately, good, bad, and indifferent in the
Mhm.
process. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
and so that's why I feel like our bodies go through so many different changes. And so a lot of my thinking, it wasn't so much of the panicking, but it was more of like, okay, am I crazy, or is my eyes tearing a whole lot more? Or
Mhm.
Hmm.
am I crazy, or my skin is so dry? I don't care. And so that was
Mhm.
where having those conversations, and not just having conversations just to get it off your mind, but
Mhm.
no, my god sister and my best friend were two people that I contacted and got that I texted a lot, because sometimes you would think, I'm like, my mother gonna think I'm crazy if I ask her this, or if you're saying certain things, because there are certain things that you go through that I feel like
Right.
only someone who have already gone through it will either
Mhm.
understand, or the fact that my hands turned, the inside of my palm was almost the same color as the back of my hand while I was
Mhm.
going through treatment. And I'm like, what is going on? I thought I had accidentally put some bronzer on my hands one day when I was putting some lotion on. because I couldn't understand why the inside of my hand was so dark. And I texted my best friend and I'm like, random question. Did your hands change white? And she was like, yes. So, or the bottom of my feet. So it's like just certain things that I was trying to figure out right after chemo. My eyes, I have pretty sensitive eyes anyway, but my eyes were like just falling with tears. You would think that I was crying because they would just fall from my face. And it was just one of those things that I would ask the nurses, or either they would ask the pharmacist that was doing the and they were like, nope, you're not crazy. That can't happen. Don't be concerned, or it'll just kind of run its course. And so it was like that kind of situation of just being able to keep me from trying to drive myself crazy. It's like, okay, is this expected, or is this another thing that I need to add to the list of what's wrong? So
Wow.
so I bothered a lot of people with a bunch of questions most of the time.
Right. No, I mean it's good because you're just trying to learn. We all just trying to learn. For even those who have not even been through the experience that both you and Brigette has been through, unfortunately, but fortunately that you're still here to talk about it. You know what I mean? With that being said, we didn't come to the end of this conversation, unfortunately, but like Mimie said, it continues and always continues. You know what I mean? Only because we're ending the program doesn't mean that the conversation has to end. We encourage everyone out there to continue to have an open conversation amongst yourself, groups, family members, people at work, you know what I mean, when it's appropriate, I guess, to just continue to bring more of awareness to this this illness. I do want to also just add this because this is something I learned from my ex-girlfriend. Shout out to Pinky. Shout out to my don't judge, don't judge me, BB.
No judgment. No, not at all.
So
Shout out
shout
Pinky.
out to
What's
my
up?
she don't like me using her real name, so that's why I'm just saying Pinky. That was her nickname. So anyway, and that had nothing to do with me holding on by Pinky. Just coincidence. Brigette is my proof to that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
She gonna vouch
Pinky.
for me, hopefully.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And you
So
sound
anyway, so
guilty.
something I
You sound guilty. You trying to bring in somebody to co-conspire with you. Look, let me tell you something.
right.
It's okay.
So
Shout
what
out
I
to Pinky.
learned,
Let's go.
no, I'm sorry. So for real, what I learned from her because she's a survivor of sarcoidosis, which is a really serious immune disease related to
Yes.
lupus. And her sister has lupus, unfortunately, but fortunately because they're both survivors. But what she told me, and I had to learn is, you know, like she was like, it's okay for me to be selfish because I'm just trying to survive. And I just want to remind everyone who's going through what you're going through, this doesn't take anything away from your great spirit, your great big
Yes.
heart, your kind heartedness, how much you care and love people. It's okay to be selfish to get your health back in track and to, when be to do whatever you got to do to ignore people, to have your time, your space. When you feel like talking, you can talk, you know what I'm saying? And no one should have to be putting pressure or applying pressure to you, you know what I'm saying, to get you to open up about something that you are going through. And only you know what it feels like, and other women and in that rare case of men that, you know what I'm saying, it happens to can relate to. So, with that being said, I just want to remind you all that it's okay to be selfish and put yourself first, just like it is okay, just like when it comes to success, relate to success. You have to be selfish to a degree to, get on track, you know what I mean, to do what we do, you know what I'm saying, that we can all relate to. So, with that being said, Mimi, as we close out this show before we get to it, would you like to add anything else to the conversation briefly?
Well, I just want to say that it's been a pleasure meeting both of you ladies. I mean, I learned a lot too because I haven't been through the process, but my mom has. And I just love listening to different experiences because we learn a lot as we go. I mean, even listening to you, Danielle, talking about, how your hands or how your feet felt or, what you were going through. My mom also experiences that as well. with the like dry hands or sandy hand and wet feet or vice versa. Like she's going through a lot. So whenever she goes through these different things, I do my little research and I'm like, okay, mom, you're gonna probably go through that for about a year. It says it here, da da da. And I don't believe everything that I read. So I do due diligence on top of due diligence. And sometimes I talk to people who have been through the experience
Yeah.
to see if they've gone through that, if it's still going on, how long did it take, and all these things, so I can get my mom's anxiety to,
Yep.
to a certain level, because she still goes through the, what if this, that. And now it's just like, you know what? I'm okay. I've lived a long life. I'm like, nah, you're going to go through radiation. We're going to get through this thing and we're going to be all right.
Well, feel free to add my number. Give her my number.
Yes.
Send me a text message, because that was that peace of mind that you needed, so that
Yes.
you didn't think that you were going crazy. Because I'm putting Aquaphor on my feet every single day, and I've never had skin flaking off of my body the way that it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm like, what? And you keep from saying anything because it's like I'm trying what I know. But then it's like, okay, I would go to the nurses and it's like, okay, this may seem weird, but does this happen? And they're like, nope, that's not weird. It happens. It, continue to moisturize, so it's like those things where, because your body is going through so many different changes, you know what
exactly. And you said something very powerful also, Danielle. You said that like even like when you go through chemo or when you go through all these different things, other things are being affected by chemo. Chemo, those just don't go into your body and it's like, okay, we're going over here to the breast. No, this thing is going everywhere. So if you're not really taking care of yourself all the way, across the board, Brigette said, with the things that you eat and how you take care of yourself and getting your mind right and your soul and everything, because it's a mind thing. Like I think that if you're thinking positive going through the process, it's like, you know what, God is in your hands, do what you got to do. I still got work to do. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? And have that closer relationship with the higher power, whatever that higher power is, and staying positive. I think it's a very, very good thing. And that's the kind of thing that I used to feed, to my mom all the time. Even when I used to talk to her on the phone, it's like, look, smile for me. You look good. Da da da. Because my mom is big on her hair, how she looks. People, whatever people think, my mom is always worried about. And I'm like, mommy, no, you look great. You look fantastic. And I'll be there telling the nurses, look, tell her she looks great and she looks fantastic. And let's just roll with this, But you just have to stay in a positive mentality, or else, you can be taken out just by that and slip into depression. And then God knows what else, because when you slip into depression, all else starts to fail if you don't have, a support system, especially.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna cut it there, because if I don't, we can go into
Yeah,
but
and I'm sorry, I just have to add this part too. Thank you for that, Mimie. I'm sorry, only because you mentioned two things that was really key that was in my mind in reference to the chemo, and then with hair. So a lot of women, who are used to having long hair and stuff like that, let Brigette be a testament that hair does grow back. You know what I'm saying? And Brigette, if you could share, how quickly did your hair start growing back? Because Brigette was completely bald.
Wow. Well, I've had long hair all my life. I was a kid with long hair. And when my hair came out, I was devastated, because I always felt like my face was too fat to be bald headed. But I'm going to tell you, it was the best feeling ever, being bald, because I felt free. And as soon as I stopped the chemo, my hair grew back, all of it. The texture was a little thicker than it was before. But funny thing, because when it's wet, it's like it used to be, kind of thinner and wavy. But when it dries, it's thick. It's thick. And it's almost like a flower. I swear. It's like a flower. And it's unbelievable. Because the way it lays down wavy and kind of straight, you would never think it's getting ready to blow up when it dries and be thick. Okay, you wouldn't see it coming.
Mhm.
So that's amazing, and that's why I've been wearing my hair like I wear it for 14 years now. And my kids, everybody want me to change my hairdo, but no, because it reminds me of what I went through.
Mhm.
So I'm very blessed to have my hair come back so thick.
Mhm.
I want to say real quick, Danielle, did you have lip nose taken?
During my surgery,
Removed, yeah.
they
Did you have
removed
your lip
2 of
nose
them
removed?
to test them. I'm sorry.
Yes. Did you have them removed? Some of them.
They removed what they said was the first 2 that are milk ducts drain
Okay.
into. So they removed 2 of them to test them.
Did your doctor make you aware of lymphedema?
Hmm.
Okay. All
Have
right.
I experienced it? No, I
Okay.
didn't.
So
But
I just want to tell everybody out there, and Mimie, I don't know if your mom is aware of lymphedema or not,
Mhm.
because some doctors talk about it and some of them don't. Some doctors don't talk about it because they're not specialized in it. They're
Mhm.
not specialists. Um, the lymphedema is, you should look it up to
Mhm.
get more in depth, but it's when you have lymph nodes taken away and your fluids in your body, they get bagged up because, they no longer have the lymph nodes there to travel, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of times when you see people have these big elephant legs or elephant arms, hands, it's
Yes. Yes.
lymphedema a lot of times. And so I was told that if you had lymph nodes taken away, that you have lymphedema. It's just, and you'll have it for the rest of your life. It's just a matter of you doing the necessary things to keep it away.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's very, very important. I had an aunt that died from lymphedema, and that's why I'm so aware of it. She was also like a 3-time cancer survivor,
Mhm.
and she survived the worst type of cancer. Uh, but she made me very, very aware of lymphedema because the lymphedema, once it gets to a certain point, it keeps growing, and you can't do nothing about it.
Mm.
So the lymphedema, do research on it and make sure you keep it away.
Mhm. I'm glad that
Okay.
you say that. I thank you so much because she has been going through
Yeah.
something where like her legs will be swelling and stuff like that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm about to call her
Yes.
when I get off this call. We're gonna have a
And you can
conversation.
you can keep it away. Now I'm
Okay.
consciously about it, so I'm consciously every day of my life keep it away, keeping
Yes.
it away. Okay,
Yes.
but when you have swelling
Mhm.
and you have lymph nodes taken away, pay attention to that. You have
Mhm.
an unexpected weight gaining,
Mhm.
pay attention to that. Sometimes it'll affect one side of your body. Sometimes it'll affect your whole body.
Yes.
Okay. Your face, it may affect your face,
Mhm.
your neck. There is a way to keep it away, and you need to research it and do the necessary things to keep it away. Because what'll happen is, you'll be going through different changes in your body and not know what it is, and you'll run to the doctor and they'll tell you something else.
Yes.
Because most doctors are not familiar with lymphedema.
Mhm.
Again, it
Wow.
takes a specialist to tell you all about it. They may have heard of it, they might know a little bit about it, but they're not specialists. So, like,
Right.
if you run to your regular primary care doctor, who probably won't know much about lymphedema,
They'll send you to a specialist.
about a problem that lymphedema is probably attacking you,
Mhm.
they're going to think it's everything but that
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
they're not specialized in that. So it's very important to learn what is lymphedema and what it looks like. You know, because so you can stop it from
Yes.
developing, flaring up. And
Further.
I actually,
Mhm.
I'll send I said it a podcast that I did on just lymphedema because
Oh, okay.
I had a you know what, I don't want to keep you guys long, but anyway, long story short, I found out a friend of mine from high school. She was on Facebook and she's always been like maybe 400 pounds. Well, not always been that way, but during her adulthood. And
Right.
she talks about how she found out later that it was lymphedema that made her that big. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I'll let you hear the podcast, but she talks about how, you know, how she just heard one day this woman on TV talking about this, and that's how she knew what it was. But you know, all this time she's thinking she's got to just lose weight. You know what I'm saying? When she was
Right.
born with this condition, with the lymph nodes that made the lymphedema flare up. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
leave
that's
you guys with
interesting.
that. I
Yes.
want to leave you with you need to research lymphedema, and then it was something else that came to mind too. But yeah, I can't think of it right now. But definitely look into lymphedema. Oh, and I just want to say too, chemo leaves long time, a lifetime effects. You know, leave you with some, if you know, problems for the rest of your life. Too, just to oh, this is what I wanted to tell you, is that chemo is made of sugar.
Mm. Wow. That's crazy.
So so in the decision of taking chemo, you need to
Yes.
think about that. And it says it could cause cancer. It literally says that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you need to think about that. You need to get in depth with that with your doctor. Is this chemo?
Yes. I'm in
Because a
depth
lot
with herbs. I'm in depth with herbs now because you go to the doctor and the doctor want to put you on all kinds of medications for all kinds of different things, and we're not doing that.
you know,
No.
I think they get this big kickback from chemo for real. Because that's the very first thing they want to give you when they hear
Mm.
you have cancer. That's
Yes.
the first thing they prescribe for you.
Yep. For
So
real. For
pay
real.
attention to that and always ask your doctor if you really need that chemo and break it down to you on why you need that chemo and what is it going to do for you, and break it down, have them break down to you the length of time you need it, because that matters too. And also, Mimi, I want to tell you, my ex-mother-in-law is 80 something years old, and she's a 3 times breast cancer survivor. And she survived COVID at its worst.
Yes.
And she has diabetes. And
Mm.
she's good now.
Thank you,
So
God.
I don't care what age your mom is or what going on.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? That
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those diseases is not stronger than our Creator. What our Creator
Indeed.
has
Yeah.
planned for us,
Right. That's right.
or whatever our mission is supposed to be.
Yep. We shall overcome. We're gonna do it
Yes.
together, and that's what we've been trying to accomplish on this show today. And every time we do this show at the square table with me and Mimi, we trying to help people to overcome maybe some fears or things that's plaguing them, or maybe some obstacles in their lives. And in this case, for all the people who's fighting that fight when it comes to cancer, breast cancer awareness, you know, we trying to give you strength, and hopefully the two beautiful women below us help give you strength today,
Yes.
being both Brigette and Danielle. So thank you so
Yes.
much, queens, for sharing y'all story today. It really means a lot. You know what I mean? And like I say, God willing, this continues to reach the appropriate people that it can help. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about hitting the masses, it's about this the person that needs to hear it. Hopefully it can help, you know what I'm saying, and it reaches. That's what I pray for all the
Yes.
time. With that being said, you know, how I always like to end this program here at the Square Table with me and Mimie is because you know tomorrow's not guaranteed, obviously. You know what I mean? We kind of touching on all of that, you know, with this topic, this sensitive topic. But you know what I mean, because tomorrow's not guaranteed, I like to just on this particular show, I like to just tell people, my guests, how I really feel about you. So, with that being said, you know, I just want to tell both of you all individually, one by one. I'm gonna start with Brigette. You know what I mean? We've known each other for such a long time, going back to 2003. I'm grateful to say that, you know, you helped me to mature as the man I've become today. You helped me to mature when it comes to my business sense, to my savvy, everything that pretty much I do, you know what I'm saying, with my hustle when it comes to the business side of me, you know what I mean? You was a huge part of that, you know what I mean? Because you met me at 23 and I'm 44 years old now. You know what I mean? I worked with you, I'm grateful to say, for 17 years with the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. You know what I mean? And you know, you found me when I was just very just ambitious and a hustler, you know what I mean, and help give me some type of direction. You know what I mean? And just show me stuff and you know, would pick me up to help and teach me how to get money when it came to associated with the magazine. And I'm forever grateful for that, you know what I mean, for everything that you did for me going back to, you know, up to today. You know what I mean? I'm grateful. I don't want to just let you know I'll never take them times for granted. Any of that time, the moments that we shared, all the great conversations. We've been on the phone for hours and hours and hours on hand talking about spirituality as we continue to grow into the beings that we are today. You know what I mean? And I just want to tell you that I truly love you, always will. May God continue to watch over you and all your beautiful family. You know what I mean? I remember everybody. Maybe I haven't seen your children and your sisters and everybody in a while, but your nieces. But you know what I mean? I just want to let you know I'm always thinking about y'all, praying for you, and you know what I mean? Now, I'm so proud of you too. I want to say, you know what I mean? By being a house music DJ, again, celebrating 30 years, that's something to be very, very proud of. You know what I'm saying? You are a trendsetter, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to house music. You know what I mean? House music had only been around for like only 10 years from the time that you dropped your album. So that's something really great. And just want to say I'm proud of
Hey,
you.
stop.
No, 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 no.
I didn't get no tissue like that. Yeah, did. So you gonna make me you making me cry like a baby here.
No,
No,
no, I'm
I
almost done.
appreciate
I'm almost done.
you. Okay,
I'm
go
almost
ahead.
done.
Go ahead.
But no, may God continue to watch over you and all your family and friends and make things and blessings come to you in abundance. You know what I mean? You already know because I said it. And I love
Gratitude.
you. And please, hopefully this will help us to get back and keep in touch, like you know what I mean. And I feel no type of way. I still love you, straight like that.
With
Um,
gratitude, I said it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Veil Silk,
Celebrity, I
um,
said it.
the legendary Veil Silk. But no, thank you so much for being on the show and just sharing your conversation and just sharing your story. That means a lot to me and to Mimi and to this whole
Mhm.
program and to our audience. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I hope they appreciate it as well. Those who will see this program later. With that being said, please remind people real quick how they can support your platform or anything that you do, or when it comes to even booking you. How can they contact you? What's the best way?
Well, I want to say thank you again. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mimi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Danielle. And congratulations to you, Danielle.
Thank
And
you.
God bless you and may you stay cancer free forever.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
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 And Mimi, your mom's gonna be just fine. And
Thank
hey,
you.
she's already a survivor.
Yes.
So don't be waiting to say that word.
Right.
In fact, your mother is super awesome. You telling me this the second time? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You
Well,
look.
actually, this is her third time that she's yeah. So she's a
Well,
two-time survivor, and here we
that's
are.
even greater.
Yes.
That's even greater. For real. Like we
Thank you.
gotta start looking at these things as blessings. They're not curses.
Right.
They're blessings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because your
Yes.
mom is still here. She's
Yes.
still here. And yes, she is here and she's gotta fight.
Yeah.
But
Oh, she
guess
fighting.
what?
She going. She
But
going,
guess
honey.
what? We all gotta fight. as
That's
long
right.
as we're living, we're going to have to fight something.
Yes. Thank
Something.
you.
So it's just another challenge. That's all it is. You know, we always get scared of different words like cancer, that word, you know, because we know people died or whatever.
Right.
But it's really just another challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no bigger than nothing else than that you done went through, that your mama done went through for
Yes.
70 some years. I mean, that's a blessing.
Yes. Thank you.
You know, so we just got to stop giving certain words power.
Power and yes, and energy. That's right.
Yeah, no more of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, when
Absolutely.
Celebrity I said it said he, you know, what did I want put on the flyer? And I know he probably didn't understand where I was coming from, but I didn't want my titles in this world like a publisher, publicist, all the things that I do on that flyer, because I wanted everybody to focus on survivor.
Yes.
That's a powerful word.
Mm-hmm.
That's a powerful word. I don't care about none of this stuff. Let me tell you something. I just had a new granddaughter.
Mm.
A new granddaughter, 3 days old.
Oh,
Look,
congratulations.
I got 3 granddaughters now. No, 4 granddaughters and 1 grandson. When I had breast cancer, my kids were young, too young to have kids. I think my youngest was 10. He's 28 now or 24. But here's what I'm saying. I made that prayer one time. God, please let me see my grandkids. Because my mama didn't meet mine. She didn't meet her grandkids.
Right.
So that was my prayer. And look at me now. I'm 55 years old. And I have 5 grandkids.
Yes.
For real. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You can follow me at the ChicagoBridgeMagazine.com, but you know, and learn some things that I do, and you know, and also get highlighted on the publication. Get your flowers, because that's what we do. We give people their flowers.
Right.
You know, but most of all, what I want to leave you all with is that I'm a survivor, and you are too.
Yes.
Even if you didn't get that doctor report saying that you're free of cancer or free of diabetes or whatever you're going through, you're still a survivor.
That's
Anytime
right.
you open up your eyes and being able to talk about it, you are a survivor.
Yes. Amen. That's right.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brigette. Appreciate you so much. Honestly,
You're welcome.
genuinely.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to move on to Danielle. Um, same thing, same thing. Let me give you your flowers. Let me just show you some love real quick, Queen Auntie Danielle. You know what I mean? Where can I start? You know, Brigette already got me with a couple of tears in my eyes, so now I gotta find a way to get it back together. But no, I just love you so much. I'm so proud of you. You've come so far. You know, me and Danielle was going back and forth on Instagram Messenger having a debate because she's saying that she's an amateur model and I'm saying she's a professional. And you know what I mean? You know, you've been doing this, just you've been modeling just as long as I've been doing my interviews. That's what's crazy. Like, and we started this journey when it comes to basic entertainment because it's all under the umbrella of entertainment, modeling, interviews, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? I was going to say I'm so proud of you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry but grateful that you know that we've come together now, but sorry that you know I wasn't there to support you in the early stages of you know while you were doing your thing. You know what I mean? For I should have, and I look forward to, and I want to interview you. You know what I'm saying, and celebrate you, and you can talk about your modeling experience because I know you got some stories to tell as well. You know what I mean? But just I'm just grateful to say that you my auntie. It means so much to me. To the first time on this show on any of my shows that I've ever had a family member. You know, my sister Dawn was part of a an event that I did virtually, but you know, you are the first family member that I can say that, you know what I mean, was on any of these shows that I put so much energy into and passion. And that really means so much to me. You know what I mean? It means so much to me that you just have the big heart that you are. You know what I mean? If you know, you know, you've been so nice. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into family stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm biting
Yeah,
my
we don't
tongue
need
right now, but
specifics.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm not hearing nobody out. But I'm just saying, like, you just being so genuine, so nice, and remain the same. You know what I mean? Despite however you've been treated by anyone. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I'm just so proud of you, grateful that you are open to, you know what I mean, just having a build a relationship further with me being your nephew. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's so dope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for you. I pray that God continue to watch over you and all your family and friends. And, just everything may come to you in abundance, you know what I mean? 100 times fold. And may you continue to, like Brigette say, every time you open your eyes, you're a survivor. So just remain and
Mhm.
know that too. You know what I'm saying? It's day by day. Everything is day by day. Don't put no more pressure on yourself than what's needed. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? I know you have a handful of things that you do. You're a professional multitasker. You talked about some of the stuff that you already had on your list to do today. And I'm just proud of you that you keep moving, because some people, um, unfortunately, they let things get the best of them and take over their whole life. But I'm so proud of you because you have not allowed this to take over your life. You kept it moving. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? You are surviving every day and you keeping it moving. You still going to school and teaching the children that's going to be adults one day, which is so impactful to be a teacher. Thank you for being a teacher. You know what I'm saying? We don't thank our teachers enough because teachers are so much needed. We all had teachers at some point if we ever went to school. Some people was
Mhm.
homeschooled, but you know what I mean? With that being said, teachers, salute to all the teachers and salute to you. How long have you been a teacher, by the way?
This is my 11th year teaching.
Wow, look at that. 11-year teaching, 10 years in Marlin. You winning. You winning straight like that. So happy for you,
Thank you.
proud of you. And man, just like I say, Danielle, just please keep in touch. Reach out to me for anything, you know what I mean? May this platform open up us to have, more conversations, you know what I mean, but private conversations next time. But you know what I mean? Or, we and like Mimie said, we do need to continue to talk about this sensitive subject so we can
Mhm.
do another show, you know what I mean, about it and have more women and and try to find a man that's a fighter and survivor as well. And so we can
Mhm.
just continue to add to this conversation because we cannot say enough. I love you so much, Danielle,
I love you
forever,
too.
ever. And you still so beautiful and everything. And I'm glad that you was able to make your return to the runway after beating cancer.
Yes.
So congratulations for that too.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
So thank you so much, both Danielle and Brigette. Um, man,
Well,
thank you, Mimie. And so now it's Mimi's turn because
Oh.
this is the part that Mimie don't like because I continue to repeat myself with Mimie because we do this once a
We
month,
do
right?
this once a month, and like I'm really good. I appreciate you. I said it. You're the
Um,
man. I'm thankful for this show. I'm thankful for this
uh,
platform. I'm thankful for everyone that you bring
yeah,
on the show and the connections that you continue to bring
appreciate
on year after year after year. So one love, God bless, peace, and thank you, ladies, for
Now
being
hold
on
on.
the
So
show.
we just got a comment. Thank you. I don't know what they say. UIUC grad 2010. Yes, come on, professional model, survivor, queen. So apparently that's somebody that you
Thank
know.
you. There may
Yes,
be
thank
Urbana,
you so much.
maybe Urbana Champagne, like U of I.
Okay, absolutely.
Maybe that's where they graduated from.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. That
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
love it.
They out in Central Illinois like me. But but yeah, with that being said, yeah, I love you so much. And Mimi, thank you for just being my host, always showing up, never telling me no when I know you super, super, super busy and you be having major things to do. Um, and despite I didn't ask you in the beginning, I didn't ask you in the beginning about, what it is that you do, but let me please just highlight that Mimi is how many years now? 35 years in the entertainment industry.
35 years. Well, actually, 37. I've been saying 35 for the last 2 years. It's 37
All
years.
right.
And I feel so
Right.
old. I just stuck the number 35 so we could just stop. It just because but yes, 35 long years.
Now, Yep,
You
she
started
started
when
with
you were 2. That's okay.
Yeah, and yes, let's say that.
right. No,
Yes,
absolutely. Just so proud of you, Mimi, for keep pushing and all the doors that you have
thank
also
you.
opened for people, like Brigette has opened many doors and how Danielle has educated many people, you know what I
Yes,
mean, who's now older kids, teenagers now. That's wild. Like that's amazing. But you know what I mean? Just thank you so much for all that you do, Mimi. I love you and may you continue to be blessed and abundant straight like that. And always look forward to hosting shows with you.
thank you.
It just make me
Okay.
feel some type of way.
It's all good. It's all
Yep.
good. I appreciate you too.
Yep. And now if people want to support you or how can they do that with you?
So it's either MIA Entertainment Group on IG, which is all spelled out, MIA Entertainment Group, or MIAentertainmentgroup.com, which is my website. Or you could just Google Mimie Acosta and just, go to one of those contact me areas and just, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. And
That's one of
when it
my
comes to
former
my
parents. That's one of my parents of my kiddos.
Ah,
Her
okay,
son was
yeah,
in
good
my
girl.
class 2 years ago. So
oh,
Oh, nice. Shout out to D Gibbs. Peace,
yes,
peace to you.
yes,
Yes, absolutely.
thanks for
Yep.
having
And all
us.
I do, no, absolutely. It's such a pleasure. And all I do is I ask my audience, anyone that's watching, if you have not subscribed to Isaidit Management, please do, because it's where not only here you come get back in your square, only at the square table with me and Mimi last Thursday of every month, 6 p.m. That's Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that would be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm sorry, I don't know what time it is in Africa, but you can Google it and find out, or any other place you are in the world that's not part of that Central Standard Time, part of that time. So anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Everyone that left comments. Please share this content. You know what I mean? Share it with somebody who you feel like it can help. Share it with
yes,
somebody that you feel like needs to be educated more about today's topic today. Share it just
yes,
because. And share it because I said it. You know what I mean? Straight like that. Share it. So, with that being said, hey, I love everybody. May y'all have a blessed day. Thank you so much for taking time, making time for being here, both Danielle, both Brigette, and both Mimie Acosta. Thank you so
yes,
much. May you all enjoy your day. Be safe, and everyone, please keep in touch. I love y'all.
yes. Love you too. Let's go.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.
peace and blessings. If anybody asks, I said it straight
You
up.
did.
This is the Square Table. Catch us next month with another brand new conversation. Yes. Thank you, Mimi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you all soon. Peace. Yes,
Yay.
yes. Congratulations. Another great successful show.
Yes.
I'm so happy on how that went. Man, that was awesome. And we
A
can't
lot of
talk about breast
information.
cancer enough. Yes, I feel like we shared a lot of information on this show.
Yes.
That was nice. We actually had an hour and 48 minutes. We don't usually go that long. We usually go somewhere around average for those that's watching. The show is usually like an hour, hour
Hmm.
10, maybe hour 20, but we went an hour and 40 minutes because it was just that needed though, right?
Yes. 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 The more information, the merrier. I just love it. So thanking both ladies, man. That was amazing. That was a lot of info. I'm glad that I was able to hold it together and get through it because it's never easy talking
Yeah.
about my mom and her going through what she's going through because she has such an amazing personality that I never know when her bad days are when it comes to her and how she's feeling because she's always making sure she stay, ahead of the
Mm.
ahead of the eight ball. But yes, thank you so much. I said it. That was awesome.
No, thank you, Mimi. You did great.
Thank
That was
you.
awesome. And yeah, just I learned so many things myself. So
Hmm.
and I look forward to continue to share the information that I learned today with other people to educate them and just to open their mind to want to do
Yes.
more research themselves so that at the end of the day we can help more people survive like both Bridget and Danielle.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. So thank you so much. So as we just close out the show, of course, I'm just share a couple of flyers, when it
Yes.
comes to just different things, programs that we got coming up on our set of management. Thank you all so much for just tuning in today. Talk to you all next time.
Talk to y'all next time.
Yep. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Take care, Mimie. Love you.
Love
Peace.
you
That way.
too. That way.
All right. Peace.
Peace.